Good evening, everybody. Welcome. That was Dancing with the Stars.
Looks like it.
Jess, did you pay for those lessons? Good. Did you? I'm Michael Lazaro, father of the bride. This is not my toast. They are still editing it and I'm printing it out. So that'll be later. But I want to thank you all for being here, and on behalf of Morgan's parents, Kate and Dan White, and Jessica's mother, Sally, and her husband, John Sirks, and my wife, Paula, I want to thank everybody for coming. This is not the easiest place to get to, so we truly appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful time, and I will be back. It'll be short. We're going to highlight every year of Jess's life and all the things that she did that no one knows about. Okay? Enjoy dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt Bremner, and I should be there today by Morgan's side as his best man. I really wish I could be there to celebrate with you, Morgan and Jess, but due to travel restrictions and self-isolating protocols and everything else, I'm unable to be there. I'm so sorry. When Morgan first asked me to be his best man, I thought, this is a no-brainer. Of course, I'll be there. We looked into flights right away, told my family, looked into accommodation. Then, as we got closer to the wedding, the realization of me not being able to be there sunk in, and it was heartbreaking. Then the idea of doing a recorded speech came up. I'd never done one before. I've done wedding speeches before, but it's easier because you can gauge the audience. So as far as recorded speeches go, this is my first one, and here it goes. Morgan White, my best buddy. We first met in grade 8, where I found out he loved WWF wrestling. He loved collecting Star Wars cards and loved Final Fantasy. We realized we both had love for a game called Monkey Island for PC. We became best friends instantly, hanging out most weekends and basically entire summers together, spending our days walking from Skaha Lake to Okanagan Lake, playing video games and watching movies. As we got a little older, we'd have sleepovers, playing vids through the night, whether it was at our houses in Penticton, or if it was up at the condo at Apex, or if it wasn't for Morgan, I probably wouldn't have got into skiing. 3 to 4 season passes later, I was loving it. Moving on and getting older, grade 11, grade 12, getting our driver's licenses. Morgan had a Volkswagen Jetta, mid-80s, driving back and forth to Apex, driving to house parties, driving where we needed to go, even if it was just a quick rip to Mickey D's. Morgan would never mind driving, but he would always ask for gas money. I loved it about him. Even if you only had a little, he'll take it. I remember one time pulling up to a gas station and he put $1.81 worth of fuel in his car, and it still cracks me up today. But at this time in our lives, house parties were the thing. By grade 12, house parties were every weekend. I remember losing Morgan at one of these house parties, searched everywhere. We looked by the front door, his shoes were still there, so he's got to be somewhere close. We looked for about 30 minutes, couldn't find him. So I left on foot, with Morgan's shoes in my hand, with a couple friends to go find him. Where do we find him? We find him 2 to 3 blocks down the street, in someone's front yard, face down, starfish position, wearing some girl's sandals, passed out cold. Classic. Fast forward to our early 20s, I remember a house party that I had at my place. We had all the good time buddies over. It's now referred to as Jäger Night by many, and many still cannot drink Jägermeister to this day. After a full day of drinking at the Festival in Penticton, we thought it would be a good idea to buy bottles and bottles of Jägermeister while still drinking beers. So we proceeded to shoot/chug Jägermeister out of 4-ounce glasses. Well, 6 hours later, ding, 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 paramedics were called by now my wife, then my girlfriend. One of my friends was found 3 houses down, driving and stuck in a little tight car. 2 of them were unmovable in my front yard. Meanwhile, Morgan is in my downstairs bathroom, painting the walls, including the ceiling, with Jägermeister vomit. What a night. I think we all woke up with some kind of drawings on our face. Oh, to this day, I still can't touch Jägermeister. So, fast forward again to our mid-20s. Morgan would always come back to Penticton to visit. Whether it was every year or every couple years, he'd be there. He was there for my wedding. He came after both my girls were born so he could meet them, who they call Uncle Morgan, which means the world to me. And most times he'd always come, when he would come visit, he'd always stay in my fifth wheel, in my driveway, so he was as close as possible. And then we're 30. Morgan met me in Vegas for my 30th. It was the most absolute best time. Though I can't tell you about 99% of what happened, I can tell you this. I remember coming back from a long night on the strip, if you know what I mean. We showed up about 4 a.m. to our hotel. And Morgan sits down at a blackjack table and says, "I'm 10 minutes behind you guys. I'm just going to play a couple hands." Okay, no big deal. So we go up, we go to bed. I wake up about 4.5 hours later, roll over, Morgan's bed's still made. Oh no, we've lost Morgan. I go to the other rooms, wake up the other guys. We head downstairs, and where's Morgan? He's at the same table, in the same seat, the same clothes, and hasn't even moved. He looks so tired. We figured, oh, he's just going to want to go to bed and he's going to sleep the day away. Well, nope. What does Morgan do? He goes, has a shower, and he comes back out and spends the next 18 hours with us drinking and partying. What a ledge. Well, I should wrap this up, otherwise I could tell stories all night, and I'm not sure what's appropriate and what's not. So before I go, I do want to give a shout out to Kate and Dan. You guys were a big part of my life growing up. And Kate, I'm sure you look beautiful as always. Also, a big hello to Christy. I hope you guys are all well. I know we haven't met yet, Jess, but I can tell you that you make Morgan very happy. I remember when he first met you, he wouldn't shut up about you. So I'm so happy that he's found his forever girl. Morgan, what can I say, buddy? You've been an awesome friend for so many years and so many more years to come, I'm sure. We've had so many great times together, and we'll have so many more. I'm so happy you found each other. Enjoy a long and happy life together. So if you could, all raise your glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom, Jess and Morgan. Love you guys.
Good evening. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Renee Lazaroff, sister-in-law to Jess, or as she refers to me, as her sister from another mister. I want to acknowledge how incredible it is today that we could be here to celebrate all this together. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you to the Lazaroff, Sirks, and White family for putting such a beautiful event together for us all to enjoy. Likewise, I know there are several people that couldn't be here today, and I know they send their love to the both of you from near, far, and from above. Jess, I'm truly honored to be giving this speech and to be your matron of honor. Thank you for allowing me to be by your side today. As an only child, I often dreamed of what it would be like having a sibling. And I feel like I'm so lucky to have a sister like you in my life. I love you very, very much. Seeing you today looking absolutely gorgeous and unbelievably happy makes my heart so full. I'm beyond proud of you and admire your courageousness and tenacity to follow your dreams. As hard as it is to have so much distance between the two of us, seeing you this happy makes it all worthwhile. Morgan, I'm beyond excited to welcome you to our family. Through several FaceTime calls, countless check-ins with Jess, I knew that with your sense of humor, love for sports, competitive nature, and adventure spirit, you were a great match for her. But it truthfully only took one trip of traveling to Park City to learn that you are more than just a great match for her, that you were the one. Truth be told, it was actually 2 to 3 minutes that it all came clear. For those of you that know Jess, know that, well, how do I put this? She tends to get a little hangry from time to time. With this comes the slightest ever bit of irritability and, well, just, you know. So while I was visiting here, the three of us decided to go to your favorite Mexican restaurant. Suddenly, we noticed after placing our order that they totally messed up Jess's meal. Nothing was there, and if you know Jess, this is not acceptable. Insert immediate panic. But in steps Morgan, calm, cool, collective. Not only does he dissolve the situation, he completely diffuses it. I know that in this moment, Jess was so happy to have you, not only to get her some tacos, but to be in her corner. And from that moment, yes, I dubbed Morgan the Jess Whisperer. Well done, and always remember, a happy wife, a happy life, Morgan. While this moment may seem trivial, the thing is, marriage is much like that moment. It's a little bit of a wild journey. There are mountains, there are valleys, and hopefully there are some really, really high peaks. Having someone by your side to enjoy it all and to be your rock, or in this case, your calm in your storm, you can truthfully endure anything. I recognize this in your relationship, and I hope you have the most beautiful marriage. Here's to the both of you and the love that you share. To Mr. and Mrs. White.
We'll now have a toast by Brian.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to follow up Matt's starfish story, but we'll do our best. You did it, man. We're here. We're real proud of you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brian. I think I speak for everyone in here when I say thank you for the two of us, for having us in this incredible place that means so much to so many of us in this room. Morgan was actually the first person I met when I moved here from New York. We actually met here at Deer Valley. We worked together at the summer camp. Morgan was a model employee. I was a terrible one. Kurt knows. Despite some differences, we quickly forged a deep bromance over a mutual love of video games, Marvel movies, and Taco Bell. Now, one of the things I've always loved about you, man, is your stubbornness. You know what you want, you go things about your own way. There's a couple examples when it probably would have paid to be a little more flexible. Two of my favorite are thinking that 7-Eleven taquitos or hot dogs are an acceptable meal 3 nights a week. And my personal favorite, is thinking that wearing a yellow M&M shirt out of the privacy of the Red House was wise. Do you still have that shirt? It's somewhere, yeah. I'm sure you love it. Having said that, another one of Morgan's best qualities is his ability to surprise. The best example of that is sitting right here next to you. I remember when you first met Jess, you'd come over and told me how you met a girl at Deer Valley. You were extremely assertive when Jess caught your eye. You got her number and you made it happen. It was bold, it took guts, it was badass. And look where it's gotten you. This should really serve as a lesson for the rest of your life, and that is the best things come when you least expect it, and we're willing to get a little bit uncomfortable. I remember one of our late night sessions when we were venting about the frustrations of trying to date in a ski town. A unique battle a lot of us understand all too well. Now, I'm paraphrasing here, but I remember telling you something along the lines of, the best thing for you to do is trying to find somebody who will not change who you are. If you could do that, you found what you need. I think the fact you found the right one was extremely clear when you found a girl who not only busted her ass to find you a PlayStation 5, but she'll actually play it with you. Yes, yes. I knew when you told me that story that we'd be right here celebrating this marriage before too long. On the other side of the coin, and to really hammer home how perfect the two of you are for each other, is the fact that Jess had Morgan excited about riding a mountain bike, camping, and skiing without having to be paid to do so. Believe me, Jess, the fact you were able to do this makes it very clear he was head over heels in love with you. Now, when life has its complicated moments, which it always inevitably does, remember tonight, and remember what got you here. Keep an open mind, be flexible, be bold, be willing to get uncomfortable, lean on each other, and together you'll be able to handle whatever life throws at you. Lastly, I think it's appropriate to leave you with a quote from a man who has an incredible impact on both of our lives. It goes like this: you know, this is what it looks like: a home, people who love each other, a safe place. You should take a moment and feel it. If you don't recognize it, it's our guy, Professor X. And what I think he's saying is something that we've all heard, but it's something we need to be reminded about from time to time, and that it's important to slow down. It's important to appreciate what you have, because tonight, from where we're all standing, you really have everything you'll ever need. Everyone raise a glass, let's toast these two, and let's make it a perfect night.
And now for the parents of the groom.
Good evening. My name's Dan. My wife Kate. We are absolutely delighted to be here. First things, I met Jess for the first time 3 days ago. We live in Canada. There are restrictions for me to get out to see her. I also had cataract surgery last week so that I can see how spectacularly beautiful she is. I thank my surgeon. I'll let the mother unit take over.
Yeah, we're doing this in tandem because we both cry, so, you know, it is. But today marks the beginning of a new chapter in our son's life. We cannot be happier for him and Jess to be together. They're perfect for each other. And as we both have only known Jess for a little while, we can see in Morgan's eyes the love he has for her. And that's enough for me. But I guess at this point, I'm supposed to tell some kind of stories about Morgan and what a rotten kid he was. Well, he really wasn't. He was, however, very accomplished on the piano. And that didn't last that long on the piano. He was pretty good at it as I slide down because I moved the page up too fast. But, what?
He decided he preferred playing street hockey, to playing the piano. That's pretty reasonable for someone his age. And then he took up skiing. We bought a place in the mountain. We got a nice ski area about 40 minutes from where we lived in Penticton, in British Columbia. And every Friday afternoon, when the kids got out of school, we went up and spent the weekend. And that's where he developed his love for skiing.
Boy, was he good.
Oh yeah, well, I understand he's good. He keeps telling me that. I can't ski, so unfortunately I have never seen him ski, which is a real shame because he is spectacular from everyone I've talked to here. Yeah, okay, your turn.
Well, yeah, we're just going to do this, okay? Just work with us. So, at this point when I knew he was a great skier, and I really wasn't, I would ask him, could you take me out for a lesson? But after a few trips on the slopes, Morgan and I decided that was a bad idea. Imagine Morgan telling me what to do? Really? I'm sure you can all figure out how that went. But skiing became his life. And Deer Valley is where he met the love of his life. Here I go.
Okay.
So we are so excited for their future together and a lifetime of blending traditions and starting new ones. And that brings us to another point in this story.
To give you an idea of what he had to grow up with in our house. Morgan graduated grade 5, and he had a party in the backyard, and it was a burn your books kind of party. So all of his classmates were invited, and we had this huge bonfire going in the backyard. They decided the best thing to burn was their French notes. Okay, they all hated French. So what does his mother do? Calls his teacher the next morning and tells him that they all burned their French notes. What does he do? The next day he tells the class, you all get your report card and you get to pass on as soon as you turn in your French notes. So we won't, we were told that we had to limit this to 30 minutes. So we're going to...
Well, normally at this point of the evening, we would have some coffee. But we're not having coffee tonight, but we're going to make a toast. That was a toast that was given to Dan and I by Morgan's grandfather. And Dan and I have been married for 41 years. And the toast that his grandfather gave to us was about a cup of coffee. And the cup of coffee is something that you have together in the morning. It's a quiet moment, just to be together. You don't look your best. You don't have all your makeup on. You don't have all your fancy clothes on. You don't have a glass of wine. You're just sitting, in those days, reading the paper, but now we don't. But just having that morning cup of coffee and talking about your day and figuring out how it's going to go together and just look at each other and tell each other how much you love each other. Because it's really important every day to tell them how much you love each other. So, again, we don't have the toast for the coffee, but that's okay. I think you get the point. Sitting in your PJs, having the quiet moments together.
That's what marriage is all about.
And that is what marriage is all about. It's a nice, quiet moment together over a cup of coffee. So please raise a glass of wine right now. And just pretend it's a cup of coffee. And we wish them all the best. And we love you both and welcome Jess into our home, into our lives. We love you.
Thank you. For those who know me, they know that I am so in love and care so much and think the world of my son. See, I threw you off, didn't I? I love my son. My son is the greatest. He and I, we never get in each other's way. If I go left, he goes right. He listens to about a third of the things that I have to say, and he is the best, and I love him so much. But there's something special about a father and a daughter. All of the movies are about fathers and daughters. There is no movie called Father of the Groom. It's called Father of the Bride. And all the other movies about weddings are about fathers and their daughters. My daughter, for the last 30-something years, has been the one constant in my life. I can always rely upon her for something zany, and for a kind word, and for sometimes when she just calls and says, "Dad, I just wanted to hear your voice. Your voice soothes me." And that means everything in the world to me. And we've gone on a lot of different little ventures. We went to baking school. We did all kinds of different things. One day she walked into our office and said, "Dad, I am working here." And I told the head person, I said, "Start her cleaning up the closets and maybe she'll go away." And she didn't. And she helped Paula, my wife, doing all kinds of travel things. And she was in the Situation Room when we were sailing during Hurricane Sandy. That was a lot of fun. And she was the best. And then one day, she decided, "Nope, I'm done. I'm gonna go do something else." And it reminded me of when she was a little girl. She would march up to me every night and say, "Dad, put me to bed." And then the saddest thing ever, I am still devastated by it. I go to a psychiatrist because of this, Jess. She walked up to me and said, "Dad, I'm gonna put myself to bed." Yeah, it really was horrible, right? But I adore her. And then she met Morgan. And Morgan, you terrific. Okay? Really happy for you, for Jess. You guys are going to be great. I really enjoy all of my time with you. But Jess, there is something special about a father and a daughter. And we've had something special for a long time. And I just adore you. So raise your glass. And we're going to toast Morgan and Jess, but mainly Jess.